Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you in a very special way for your continued support to our channel. Please subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. Don't forget to click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you. Please give this video likes. It goes a long way in promoting our videos. Again, thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, President William Samoei Ruto has gained some courage and it is back on top of vehicles and is campaigning, is moving from one county to the other. Immediately after he formed what he calls a broad-based government, he was in Mombasa, then in Mount Kenya, and today he was on a tour on the larger Kisii, Nyamira counties. And while there, William Ruto is meeting what I may call not a very so pleasant reception, because what he thinks is a government of national unity or a broad-based government is not really pleasing everyone. Now, while in Kisii, that was Nyamira, two things happened to him. First of all, the governor that was supposed to be hosting him there, Governor Nyaribo, was heckled. You know, Kenyans have decided that if they don't want you, they do not want to use euphemism about it. They will always show it. And we've seen many governors being heckled because they are either associated with William Ruto or they themselves are not performing. In fact, in some instances, we saw Gen Zs going to invade the county, the county offices, the office of the governor, because they want accountability. So today, William Ruto was met with what I call opposition, because he expects that when he goes to such places, he receives a resounding reception, but that is not the case. Kindly take a look at what happened to Governor Nyaribo in front of William Samoei Ruto being heckled. And then William Ruto is receiving a cold reception, asking people. I think he went there with these goodies and promises, and people are just looking at him.
Abantu baitombi amore. Moda ntayerere. Asante sana. Asante sana. Bwana Rais. Motako igomba tebie. Ndiamana ase Rais. Asogo chaga. Tuliketi huko na viongozi wa Nyamira na Kisii, tukakubaliana moja yao ni barabara ya Mutimumwamu kwenda Manga. Engoko ya kwanire ebyonsi akwana ntwabigamba na yandaro Nyasaye abenainwe biamono.
Nyamira tumekubaliana. Nyamira tumekubaliana. Wale wanasema tumekubaliana, nione kwa mkono. Wale tumesema tumekubaliana. Hata mambo ya university hatujakubaliana. Tumekubaliana mambo ya university.
So that was the president himself. And if you've checked very carefully, ladies and gentlemen, you'll realize that ever since he formed this government, he's traversing the country. And if you ask me why William Ruto keeps on traversing the country, it's because, number one, William Ruto wants to popularize his government of national unity, his broad-based government. He wants it to be accepted across the board. That is why wherever he is, he's now telling Kenyans that, we have formed a broad-based government and we want you to welcome it. We want you to accept it so that we now work together. He's trying to ensure that people love it. He's campaigning for it. Number two, William Ruto is collecting some data, some intelligence. He's trying to get the reception, how people are receiving the appointment of Joho, the appointment of John Mbadi, Opiyo Wandayi, there's the reception of the new Attorney General. He wants to know because while in Central, he realized that, well, there are people who don't like it, but others are saying life must continue. In Mombasa, people welcomed him, and so he wanted to know. He's trying to understand exactly how do people perceive my broad-based government. That is what he's doing. Number three, basically he's gone back to factory settings, campaigning, tumetenga, tutafanya hivi, serikali yangu. He's back, and we will be seeing him most of the time on top of those vehicles with promises, and we'll be seeing those convoys in interdenominational prayers that have always been converted into campaign trails. So all these things are going to form part and parcel of William Ruto, and I believe he will be soon, beginning the foreign trips after, because yesterday he was in Paul Kagame's territory, attending the inauguration ceremony. So he's back to factory settings, and I have a feeling that with it, he has shown that he's reviving the old mannerism. We will not be shocked to hear cases of more corruption and wastage. William Ruto is also showing those who wanted to topple his government, because that is what he told us. He's had a very rough moment. 2 months of sleepless nights. 2 months of confusion and fear. And that is why he didn't travel outside the country. He knew very well he can be, he can just read it on newspapers or from CNN, because whatever was happening in the country was being followed very closely, even by the international media. Nyaribo was here. Al Jazeera has been covering this, VOK. So he knew very well that he can be told, or he can get the headlines, the breaking news that William Ruto has been toppled and is told not to come back. So it's been 4 months of great tension. And so he's trying to show those who were attempting to topple his government, if that is true, that he is in charge. That is why he's now traveling very freely, that he is in charge, and there is nothing to worry about. He has followers who are very fearful that maybe William Ruto was soon going, and they were afraid. Those who were trying to plot, I think, have been forced to take humble pie. So he's telling them, I'm still the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. That is why he has begun this travel. And I think the last one, William Ruto is trying to show his supporters that Raila has really come, and under his shadows, I'm now safe. I can go outside the country. I can begin my campaigns. I can travel. The country is quiet. Just the other day, after much hyped Nane, people didn't really come out in their large numbers. And we try to associate this with the Raila's calls to stop the demonstrations. His support base remained intact. They never went for the demonstrations in Mombasa, in Western, in Nyanza. And this really deflated, because the Gen Z's protest, even though they say they're leaderless and partyless, they really need to come together in their numbers. When almost a half of the Gen Z's don't go for the protest, then they lose the momentum, they lose the strength. So William Ruto is trying to show his people, Raila has really helped me. But from the reception, there's one thing that you must understand. One, when you see people heckling Governor Nyaribo, Kenyans are alert, and they know the leaders who are working. They know the leaders who are using taxpayers' money prudently. They know leaders who are now implementing the promises that they gave to the electorate. If you're not working for them, you saw what happened to, was it Bomet, where Gen Zs went in their numbers, demanding for accountability, asking questions. And this is what is happening. When you see a governor being heckled, just understand that people are dissatisfied. And the kind of cold reception that William Ruto received tells you that even though he feels that he has formed a government, and he feels that with that kind of escapist mentality, he has refused to confront the real issues that were presented to him. Instead, he decided to cover them under the under the shadows of a broad-based government, it tells me that people are not happy. You know, when you talk to people and you want to force them to melewana, because he was talking of a college, a university, one of its kind, and people are not receiving it with a lot of joy, with a lot of enthusiasm, and is wondering, why are these people not happy? It's because people are not happy. Not everyone is happy about the coalition government, the broad-based government. Some feel that the ODM took advantage of the Gen Z's demonstrations. Others feel that they should have supported Gen Z's. A story for another day. So people are not happy. Number three, William Ruto is a liar. That is how people. That's what people know about him. I remember the other day when he was being interviewed by Joe on the group, Latif. He was asked, "Are you aware?" And of course, Linus Kakai was also there. And he was asked, "Are you aware that people don't trust you? Are you aware that Kenyans don't trust you? From where you sit, do you trust William Samoei Ruto?" Wherever he goes, people can almost predict what he's going to say. Tumetenga, tumefanya hivi, tuko na gavana wenyu, tuko na mbunge wenyu. So the cold reception simply means that people are getting used to his lies and they feel like there's no need responding with enthusiasm. He talks about a big project like giving you a charter to your university, and you feel too little, too late. Maybe it's lying. And even if he's giving a university, people feel that why should you give as a university, yet the school fees, the cost of education is just too high. So people have not really embraced what William Ruto feels is positive change. It's a change but negative. So Gen Zs still have a job. And I feel if they don't manage, because they were saying lazima Ruto ashuke, if they don't manage to force William Ruto to climb down, then they must wait for William Ruto in 2027. And I've said this and I will repeat. If Gen Zs want real change, they should present themselves in those elective seats as a member of parliament, you know, those seats, so that after 2027, they might just find themselves 3/4 of the parliamentarians are Gen Zs or is Gen Zs. If they manage to do that, then they will be debating in the National Assembly and the Senate, and they will realize the real change that they want. Otherwise, if we leave all these usual suspects, there will be no change at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I could be wrong, but I'm one person who believes that these politicians belong to the same class. Raila Odinga, Mudavadi, William Ruto, Gachagua, Wetangula, Kalonzo Musyoka, all of them, I feel they are the same people, and they think of themselves first, then we come second. The only time they want to pretend that we are being given priority is after they have stolen and they are now being followed. That is when they say they are after me because I'm of your tribe. The day Kenyans will rise up and say, we will not be bribed, we will not be divided along tribal lines, along party lines, that is the day Kenya will be emancipated. The kind of reception that William Ruto got should worry him. Should worry him, because change is in the offing.